Hello and welcome to Wise Exotics. I'm your host Trevor, and welcome to the end of the video log series for August 2024. So to start off, I do grow a variety of plants. They're carnivorous called Nepenthes. I do also have a cephalotus and a mangosteen hiding within this somewhere. Now, that being said, my conditions are highland. I do grow a variety of ranges, which are lowland, highland, intermediate, ultra lowland, ultra highland, etc. It is possible to do various different ranges so long as you acclimate and take the time to really slowly acclimate that plant to your setup. I've had quite a few success with Bicolatera, Rafflesiana, Northiana, Sumatrana, Pudica. Trying to think of any others that are Ceratensis, Clipiata. Ceratensis and Clipiata are critically endangered lowland species, so keep that in mind. They are able to handle highland quite well. Now, I know people who have highland and lowland also. Some of them don't get enough of the night drop, but it doesn't need to be as significant as some people think. Usually, most of these plants can handle 10 degrees plus or minus the range that they're in. So 60 to 76 seems to be kind of the sweet spot for my specific plants and range. And humidity is roughly 75 to 6% or higher in this area because of the trays. You have to factor in that each of these trays have water in there, kind of got an evaporative area around them. So about 85 to 90% at the tray level. And this humidifier kind of just automatically will adjust itself depending on the range. Over here I do have a tank setup, and the tank is usually cracked open. Not as much as this is more so I can show it off. Usually about a finger length. So just take your finger and put that in. That's how, right there, and that's how much I gap it. It's about half an inch open in the front, and then the corners are gapped, so it allows for airflow. That's mainly to prevent mold or mildew or fungus buildup, so some sort of air circulation. I do also have some plants up there. Now the little humidifier, a Roku TV, a fan, and then there's Queen Milani up in the corner, and this is Draco. Draco is a jungle carpet python. You can actually see his head over to the left side if you were wondering. Now, I did get a nice upgrade for this side. I added the Spider Farmer SF600. This is the 2024 model. The 2023 was 5,500 lumens. This model was 11,000 lumens, so it was quite a bit brighter, at least almost double, a little more than double. So worth the price. I did contact Spider Farmer asking about products and what I could use here safely, and they recommended this one, so I went with it. Now, they did also give me a code, so if anybody wants to use the one for the website, it is the letter S, the letter F, and 8, so SF8. It was like a 6% discount, but it's still active to my point, and I don't think it has a use limit, so if anybody wanted to try it off of their website, go for it. I know quite a few people like Spider Farmer and recommended it, so that's what I ended up going with. There is Hades the cat. It's basically just got a timer hooked up, so there's no switch to turn it on or off, so I recommend getting a timer with an on-off switch if you were thinking about trying to do this setup yourself. But as you can see, it is very bright. Its brightness cutoff goes to about here. So that's an angle, that's the width angle from there. It's crazily bright. And you can even see it does it into my kitchen. So the cutoff for the light is right there behind the cat. So pretty good distance. It's more brighter, I would say, in this area, which is perfect because it also saturates these plants and they've been loving it. You can see the Rafflesiana X Viking just exploded with growth with it. But all the plants are doing quite well. I've seen a lot of growth and development. I put it in last Friday, and within a week, I'm seeing a lot of new growth, new colors and lights and plants that some of them were like a little tiffy, started to push through all of a sudden. So definitely say it was a well worth it upgrade. Let's go down into the setup. So Sibianensis had its first basil under the lights. I was really excited to see this. You can also see Samaderia and it are becoming friends in fun ways. Now, my Sibianensis is a seed-grown one. It's the Borneo Exotic seed-grown. There is now the Carnivero one. So if you wanted one and you weren't able to get the Borneo, Carnivero now has that option. So please keep that in mind. You can see quite a few of the Vici are just kind of going nuts under the light. That's my Adriani. So this is the new VGI one. This is VGI A. Red Leaf Exotics 3487? Yeah. 3487. I had to think about it because Taffy is 3488, so it's one less than Taffy. It's Taffy minus one. That sounds silly to say, but that's how I'm remembering them. Now, it did come with a basil. The basil is already spoken for, before anybody gets any ideas. I've already promised it to a friend, so they get it. Now, I did trim a leaf off of Pink Candy because it was fighting the new leaf, and I wanted that to get more growth and lighting. I also tried to hook it in as best I can with this so it isn't falling over. Now, interesting enough, the VGIMs I heard are the worst at doing this, where they will literally come out of the pot and just fall down and just kind of crawl along the ground, which is what Barrio VGI do. It's totally natural. It's just the M's are more dramatic at it. Now, as you can see, Pink Candy does not care what I do. Its trap is solid. It doesn't. It's just a tank. This thing, I did not acclimate this. I literally just threw it in this setup and it started pushing a new leaf. This thing is extremely hardy. Okay. Oh, Naga is starting to color up. So this is a seed grown one from Jeremiah Harris. I picked up a couple of years ago, if a few of you recall it. It was a micro seedling. It has finally graduated. It is out of the tank, and it is happy. It even pushed an even bigger leaf, so it's liking the lights too. Now Taffy had an interesting update. As you can see, new leaf. It's super fuzzy, by the way, on the underside. It is so. It's like petting a small cat or something underneath the leaf. Let's see if I can show that. Look at all the hair. Go Taffy. But if you can see really closely, there are little brown black speckles. Taffy is finally getting the trait that I've been wanting to see firsthand on VGI from Barrio. These are called, the VGI Barrio are called the speckled VGI or the spotted VGI because their leaves do get spots. And in comparison, it is very similar to something like Ampulara Black Miracle's speckling that it gets in its hybrids. So it might be that it's some sort of residual variegation from chimera traits, or just something they naturally do. I don't know, but it's really cool to look at. I was super excited to see that. My friend Mike from Mike's Little Oasis gets plenty of them on his larger VGI that are bred with Candy Dreams. Candy Dreams does have spots on its leaves, so that's another neat little trait that Taffy and its dad share now, so that's quite awesome. Taffy is nowhere near fully mature, so I'm hoping Taffy gets better and better with every trap. It's getting a little more red in the trap striping. Definitely more flare spikes in this one. Now, my VGI-A, which I really need to come up with a name. So far in my head, I was calling it Ace and Taffy. Both have a trap literally next to each other. I swear they have a rivalry. So the A is the little trap on the left, and the one to the right is a Red Leaf Exotics 0042. It's the same trap as over there because that plant has pretty wide leaves. That one actually gets some variegated striping in its leaves, similar to, say, this, but a little fainter. So it's called a partial variegation. So that's a neat little trick or trait it has. Let's see. My little VGIB popped its first larger trap with me, so I'm really excited to see that. Oh, Minima X Candy Dreams. Here, I'm going to turn off the humidifier because it is blasting in my face. So this is Minima X Candy Dreams Plant 2, and you can see Plant 1. Now, Plant 2's second trap is right there, or next larger trap, and then the next larger one for 1 is right here. It almost seems like Plant 2 is one trap style behind Plant 1. So this, actually, was this the newest trap? This might be the newer trap. It had a little more flare on the edge. A lot of striping. This is one I actually have available if anybody wants to buy it or trade for it. Anywho, so Clipiata update. I got the Clipiata from trade from my friend, Western Desert Carnivores. Sorry, my thought process totally got interrupted. My Clipiata is doing good. Both of the seed grounds are fine. Clipiata is a lowland species, and this is in highland. This is unusual, but I know quite a few people are keeping clip in highland, and it has no problem. Might be because it's a cliff face specimen. It is acclimated to cooler temps in some ways. Now, the only issue that was with this Clipiata my friend sent me is he was worried it wasn't doing well. It did have root rot. I did treat it, and as you can see, this is the Borneo Exotics clone. It's already got a leaf pushing out, so it's doing quite happy. The other plant I traded for is right here. It is a Dubai, Nepenthes Dubai, which is kind of a pygmy small species, likes to crawl along the ground. This was from Quang over on Instagram. It was another one that was struggling in his conditions, having problems, so I traded him a cutting from Belea exaristocolocoides, so he's got a big cutting of that to try for. And it's fighting, it's struggling, it's got a little bit of black tip, but I think it'll push through. It just needs to stabilize. I might rebag it again because I unbagged it and was hoping it would be happy, but I might rebag it and put it back in the tank setup just to help. I was hoping the new lights would help because they're helping everything else out. Oh, you can see the, excuse me, Raja X Edwardsiana is doing quite well. This is clone 1 from Florida Collaborative. But yeah, Naga doing fine. This is one from Jeremiah Harris. Finally out of the tank. I'm trying to think about what else. Adriani is doing well. Lingulata's over in the corner because it kept getting buried by taffy and I kept forgetting about it. Not in a bad way, but like it was always getting water and treated, but I kept forgetting I had a Lingulata. Like, oh yeah, I have it. And if you missed it, the Cephalotus was under the Raja X Edwardsiana. So I know some of you are dedicated to trying to find it, so there it is. Now, I did also get these new green stakes. I got more of them. I really like these. These really are great at holding and handling the Nepenthes without hurting them. See, they get enough room to wiggle and grow and figure out what they're doing. I might be repotting this Berbizier just because it looks like it might be a little root bound when I got it. And I did add a little potting soil to this new mixture, but I might just do a complete tear down and take it off some more, which I really don't want to do, but it's what I'm going to probably have to do. Ooh, this is one that even Scotland Carnivores has. This is Clipieta Aime crossed Lowii Vicii. It's quite pretty. This one had a really crazy flare and it gets really reddish pink on its first traps of the event. It's starting to get more speckled, so it's not a very stable hybrid in terms of trap and picture production, but definitely a lot of color and stripes. Scotland Carnivore showed off theirs, and it looked like mine did originally before it went to this stage. So I'll keep it as is. Oh, on the Clipieta X Bongso, which is this one, I have only one left. I know some were inquiring, just one available. This is the large one. The other one is a smaller. The large one is the one I'm keeping, sorry. That one grew like a weed, unlike its siblings, so I've always kept that one. I had no plans to sell that. The Anthuriums from my friend Plant Doc DMD on Instagram, all of them rooted and are growing quite well. Apparently these emit heat if it gets too cold. So if you have tropical plants and wanted to keep them a little warmer, adding an Anthurium to your collection is pretty handy. You can see the Red Leaf Exotics 24, Viking X Wrath number 2. Let's see, you can see the Red Leaf Exotics 30. This thing is crazy. It actually it's making another trap, I think, right next to it, just to drive me nuts. Why do you put them all on that side? Why do you forsake me, my plant? Let's see, adjust this. Vicii, Burb, and then Crusticinophila. This thing is so neon pink, like it is glowing in my hand. It's very translucent, very pink and spotted with stripes. It's got all the best traits of all of those. I can't complain. I've had 3 of those, and I gave 2 of the other seed-grown ones out as bonus plants in some of the orders that I've had, so keep that in mind. When roulette is active, there is a chance to get nice freebies. Like in this flash sale, I added a bunch of the Squat Brumai Speckled Basil's cuttings in. So for those of you who got those, good luck and hope they root for you. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else down here. Oh, it's right here in this corner. So you can see that is Purple Haze from Carnivoro, and this is Car 289. Just popped a new trap. Here is what its old trap looks like. This thing is phenomenal. It's almost kind of like a Gaia striping pattern, but just a metallic red ribboning inside the picture, so it's very pretty. Viking X Hemalogiana. I got the little wings on this. Oh, it's so cute. By Collateral. Yes, The Orange X Red actually get white fangs, which is really interesting. I haven't seen other bivalves do that. Again, I learned that from Clearwater Carnivores, who has a bunch of them if anybody needed. This is Loei VCI Exclipiata. It is pink. It's got stripes. It's like a squat Clipiata that's pink with the VCI kind of striping and peristome kind of yellow. It's very pretty. This one is actually available, so gosh, it just got a huge leaf jump. Wow. Some of these are doing a lot better than I was thinking they were. They've hidden some of their leaves, so there's that. My white Exotica plant Crossfukakusa Raf just got a huge leaf jump over there, so I'm excited to see how it does out here. That'll be its first large trap out here. This was its first trap out here after I graduated it. Its name is Naga. It was a trap it was developing that it popped open. Dang, that's getting dark already. So let's go head over to the tank setup. Tank is doing quite fine, no problem. Some more anthuriums from my friend Plant Doc DMD. The one-off hybrid, which is Ventricosa Maja AS, crossed with Rocco Boschiana VCI Yellow Striped. That is a one-off. I cannot sell you it or any others, and Carnivoro can't sell you because it's a one-off. There were no others. The Orange X Candy Dreams are both doing well. They survived the shipping. All the seedlings I have are going crazy. Oy vey. Actually, I noticed something interesting in this pot. At least one in this one and one in this one are starting to get like a reddish peristome already. Reddish coloring on their little traps. So that's some crazy development. I was really impressed with this one. This is JBX Cobra. It's red, it's striped. Can't complain about that. Nope. All these have been doing quite well. As Morelliana, Ceratensis, nice leaf jump and new trap. VGID is actually really fast. I wasn't expecting to be this fast. These go for about 180 currently when they were first launched, which isn't that expensive in terms of how much the other VGI of the named Grex are. I really do want an E. The E were like $100 a seed or something. It was like 15 seeds for like 150, so there was some average there. Anyway, there are currently no E's that were sown actively available. I know at least 2 people that have VGI X that Dom has sold to. One was Jeremiah Harris and the other was James from Propagate the City. Both of those have VGI X, so if you're looking to get those from another source besides Dom or even the Carnivoro one that I recall was also made, there's 2 other places. Another crazy red one. So these are both siblings. It's amazing to see the variants. I think, yeah, this is another one. So this sibling, out of all 3, actually has a huge picture jump with already red and stripes. Crazy. Which one is this one? These 2 are siblings. These 2 are siblings. I like to have them in pairs just to see and compare. Now, one thing that I noticed, so I'll point out a friend at Hunter's Carnivores has, I sent him one of these. I had 3 of them. He got the larger one. All of the X Candy Stripe, X Stripe always seem to get this kind of reddish orange color develop on their traps. Now, I don't know why, but mine get this little, in those last 2 traps, mine are getting a perfect dot on the top. It's like a perfect little strip or spot. It's kind of weird, but I know all of them are turning this reddish orange, which is a very lovely shade in my opinion. But it's definitely interesting. This one, these 2 are siblings, so this is the odd one. This is one I got from Carnivoro that I bought myself. This is Car 441. This one's striped, red, yellow peristome. Can't complain about that. This is the one that is supposedly the grower's choice that I won in it was a big tray Drew had, and then the system glitched. And basically, anybody who was in the chat at that time got to get one. And I was like, for the low cost of $50. This is like $69. So it was a pretty good price drop. It was about $20 off. So I went, okay, I'll take it. I walked away to go, I think, actually make spaghetti or something. And I came back and the chat was just going crazy. And I was like, what's going on? What I missed? They said, don't care. Don't question it. Just type this and say you want it. I was like, okay. So I got one, and quite a few did, and so Yay, happy glitch. This one seemed to have stressed out a bit when I first got it. I think it has a new trap. It's kind of, yeah, it's hiding under there. But all of the ones that were in the tray were kind of like a reddish pink. So honestly, I think my first one was doing better. That's my personal take. Anyway, we'll move on from the VCI addiction that I have. Sumatrana in the corner. Let's see. Palawanensis are both doing quite well. Still my favorite of all my Palawanensis that I've seen. I really like this tubby body with stripes. Look at that thing. It's just so squat. Ettenberga is also very squat. Not as squat. My Seagran Raja, really liking the new lights. The BE Raja turning a little bit of a sun kiss on it, so I'm a little worried, and I might tune the lights a little more, but doing fine. Some more VCI, I'm doing fine there. Another VCI. Let's see. Northiana, this is the Seagrown one right here. Nice stripes on that trap. This one's been totally not caring about anything. Now, I know a lot of you like Pudica. Look at the leaf jump on Pudica. Wow. I was not expecting it to shoot that big leaf. After it did these two little leaves, I was kind of worried it was getting stressed during the heat wave, but then it shot this big old leaf, and it's pointing at the light, so I think it quite likes the light. So now on the Bongso siblings, they are quite happy. Let's see. Oh, you're in for a treat. The Tambusisi Hamada just opened its new trap. Now look at that. They do start yellow with like a reddish fang that darkens into that purple coloring. As you can see, the other Hamada, which is my Lumet, AW4, which is a male, is doing quite fine. My friend Bailey's got AW1. If you ever need to see it, go check on his, Instagram and whatnot. You can always see his cool little plants. Now let's see, macros. Macroclone T is a bloody tank. It did not care about the heat wave, so really impressed with that one. Phoenix, the Seagrown one, also did not care. Now this one was a little stressed in why it's in a bag. BCP 1998-23. There are 3 BCP macro clones to my knowledge, and each one's a little different, and no idea what they look like when they're adult. I have been trying to find, and people do not know, so I don't know either. Velosa doing fine, but the Velosa didn't have any issues, but this one did, so I'm wondering if either the light was the issue, the heat wave, or what. I've got another coming next week, so I'm a little worried about it. Let's see. It's not a high heat wave, it's like 80, 81, 82, but for like a day, but it just might be enough to take them off, and I don't want that. Edward Sienna, again, doesn't care. Diabolica, she don't care either. She actually has a nice new little trap you can see there. She's also developing more. Now, the Velosa Hamada actually had a trap reduction, so, but its leaf was really big, so I was kind of surprised on it, because usually you can see its traps were about the same size as my Edwards, so they were like that big. Now I got a trap that big on that end over there, but it popped, it's safe, it's perfectly formed, so it's not malformed. So it might have also been stressed. Let's see, the Robs are doing well, so is the Neb. For some reason, the Neb and the Rob are trying to be friends again. My Northiana, I treated it for root rot, and it's over in this corner, trying to keep the humidity to an acceptable level. That is Suritensis 6 VCI's basil, pushing out a new leaf. Seems to be okay. I was worried about that lower leaf, but the new leaf is doing fine. These were some seedlings that were sent from Desert West Carnivores. Next to that is my new Lowii. I know I was kind of conflicted when I sold my Lowii because I did want to see one grow, but it was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Maybe someday I'll get another one. And you know what? I got this one. This is from Plants That Eat, $30. And it's growing faster than my old one, and it was near black. I had a friend called Black Thumbs who was a little jealous of how dark it was. He has a love and fascination for all of the darker Nepenthes colors. So I think it was like at least 20 people I know got PTE Lowiis, and they were usually in the clones 20s to 70s. Mine is the first is clone 88 that I was really intrigued to see, and it's this... Well, you can see the traps are this dark purplish color, so I was like, whoa, that is very interesting. Greenwood Exotics got a nice leaf jump. I'm really excited to see that. But I was really happy to see this leaf on Pudica. So my hope is that Northiana, this is the BE clone, should push through. But if not, the seed grown one doing fine. I can always get another of the clone. I'd rather not, though. I do quite enjoy my plants. Now, my Aristolochoides is actually growing extremely fast. So I sent Kuja a picture of it. It had 3 leaves when I got it. It's got like 4 new leaves since I got it, and that's only been a couple of weeks. It really likes my setup. And I kind of had a suspicion Aristos liked my setup due to all the hybrids I have grow like a weed, and they have basils all the time. I did not think the pure species would do so well. So keep that in mind. You can always get a pleasant surprise on a species. I was worried. Now this one is $100 from Kuja Orchid, because this is the cross between Kuja's Aristo female and Jeremiah Harris's male. It was a brand new Grex that is just done. So this is the first one going on, and it is going strong. Wow. The Rajas, I said, I'm actually was surprised the Seacrone got such a nice jump. So I hope to see a little more tubby trap with a little bit of that Raja toothiness. All the seedlings are doing crazy good. I know I've had people asking if I would sell them or sell a bulk set. I really don't feel comfortable doing that yet. They're just so tiny, and I've worked so hard to get them to go. So I'm really worried about putting them in those little caps. And I know it worked for these two, and they did fine, but I don't know. I kind of leave it up to you. If you really want one of these that bad that early, I'm more than happy to accommodate, but they're just so tiny, and I worry about them. These are your little plant babies, you know. You work and you grow on them, and you want them to develop and look beautiful someday. My dream is to see all of the Nepenthes I ever sow and grow as an adult, so I could just drill at them. I'm totally happy that them in other people's collection, because then as long as you're sharing with me, I also get to enjoy them with you, you know. So that's kind of the wrap up. All the plants are doing quite well. Viking X Raf, I didn't talk about, number 2, is recovering just fine. So yay, no issues there. If you ever have questions, comments, concerns, please post them. You can also time post, so if there was a plant you spotted and have a question on or whatnot, please do the timed post, and then I can see what you're trying to refer to. I'm not psychic sometimes. If it's like the Raja or the Eddies, they're only 2 or 1, so the Diabolica, I know which one you're talking about. Last bit of news, my AW order has officially started to go in progress, so I'm looking forward to that. There will be Diabolica AW1, Mollusk number 2, and a random Epiphytiata, which I will then use to compare it to the Lowii. So I'm really excited to see that. Now, if you have questions or comments, again, freely post. If you need help with your setup, please contact me on Instagram under Wise Exotic, one word, same little green owl. If you're interested in buying plants or trading, again, totally happy and ready to go. Just contact me on Instagram. Best wishes, and see you all next month. Trevor out.